business districts of United States and UK and other places, I feel terrible for these women. All the time they have to be in a certain way. It is so hard to be a woman in the Western country these days. At one time it looked like freedom. You will see it is so extremely difficult to be a woman because she has to be always balancing on four-inch heels, and she has to be dressed like this, and she has to carry these bags like a man. Everything, heavy bags and computers and going here, going there, just doing the same stupid things that man is doing. This is all about how I earned a few dollars more than another man. This is just a stupid way to structure life both for a man and a woman, and for a woman it will lead to lot more suffering. Today, over 40 years of age, I think over 45 years of age, 42% of the women in America are on some kind of antidepressants or something else. This doesn't speak well, this doesn't show that it's worked, isn't it? Well, exploitation comes. Whoever is powerful tries to exploit. See, you must understand it's not about a man or a woman. Whoever has the power tries to exploit. People are not trying to exploit the woman. They will exploit another man also, a child. Why children are beaten in this world? Simply because they're small. Hello? If your children were bigger than you, would you beat them, I'm asking you? So, anything that is weaker than you, somewhere you think you must exploit. If this has to go, the front end of your life should be your consciousness. Why consciousness is? See, when we sit here, your body is your body, my body is my body, 100%. Till they bury us, we don't understand it's the same stuff. Yes? When they bury us, we get it, it's the same soil. But right now, this is me, that's you, 100%. Now you are very cautiously agreeing, disagreeing, because your mind is your mind, my mind is my mind. Yes? But when it comes to life, there is no such thing as your life and my life. There is just life, this is a living cosmos. You captured a little bit of life, I captured a little bit, somebody else captured a little bit. But it's like blowing soap bubbles. You blew soap bubbles when you were young? Yeah. So you got only this big bubble, somebody got this big bubble. Same soap. Everybody has air in the lungs, but one person gets this big bubble, another person gets this big bubble. Why do you think? Certain level of attention, isn't it? In blowing a simple soap bubble, there is a certain methodology and a technique to it. Now you filled up this much, poop, it went. Then you can't say, this is my air. There's no such thing. So similarly, as you sit here, there is your body and my body, your mind and my mind, there's no such thing as your life and my life. If you put that as the front end of your life, all these discriminations, prejudice, nonsense, your body will not work against you and anybody, your mind will not work against you or anybody, your emotions will not work against you or anybody, because it is the identity which decides how your mind functions, isn't it? Right now this feminism is coming from, I am identified as a woman. No, physically you are a woman, it's fine. 50% of the population should be women, always. Always it should be. That is good. But your identity need not be 100%. You are identified as a woman at one level, but your identity need not be 100% with your female body, because this means we are identifying with body parts. If we must identify with body parts, why choose reproductive organs? At least choose the brains. But brain is my enemy.
So this is another question from Shruti. This question is for Sadhguru, the style icon. Nowadays, fashion is a multi-billion-dollar industry. At the same time, in the name of fashion, really unappealing gross trends also come out. In the name of fashion, are crossing a line, and how do we identify the line? I'm sorry. Are we crossing the line and how do we identify the line?
Well, the first sentence, withdraw that one, huh? I'm not a style icon or something. See, for those of you who do not know this, the third largest polluter on the planet is fashion industry right now. It's estimated across the world, compared to how many clothes, how much clothing our grandparents had, how much clothing we have is on an average 5 times more. All of you seeing that, isn't it? They're saying by 2025, that will double. That means we'll be 10 times more than our grandparents. Out of this, all this cloth that we are wearing, 98% of it is now synthetic fiber, only 2% is natural fiber. Out of this, 95% is polyfiber. Polyfiber has entered our bodies, has entered the plants, has entered the animals, has entered the food chain, water, soil, everything. This is one thing that's gone under the radar. Everybody is trying to shoot at that little plastic bag, which must be done, of course, but the polyfiber cloth is the largest polluter which is going under the radar. It is sitting on our clothing, on our bodies, constantly polluting everything because the micro polyfiber is just getting into everything. There are no poignant pictures of a turtle being trapped in a plastic bag or something like that, but we are all those turtles stuck in these things. So one of the things that we are doing is, as you know from your history, that India was the greatest supplier of textiles to the rest of the world at one time. 60% of the world's exports was Indian textiles 300 years ago. It was systematically destroyed during the British era. Over 3 to 4 million people died in about 50 years simply because the industry was systematically knocked down. And that's one reason why when the English left, nearly 91 or 92% of the people were in agriculture because all these weavers went back to agriculture just for sustenance. That is why such small holdings all over the place and agriculture being in such disarray, one reason is because of destruction of handloom industries. To a point where one of the Governor-General said, the fields of India are bleached by the bones of the hand weavers in 1860, because millions died. So having said that, we still have the skills. India is poised, if we do the right things, to be able to clothe the world once again in a sensible way, in a natural way. And in the sense, this can be economically fantastic. We could completely stop farmer suicides and the distress of the farmer if part of the agriculture is towards generating natural fiber. We have various natural fibers in this country. Fortunately, I'm seeing the more high-end fashion designers. Recently, I don't know if you saw, we had conversation with Sabyasachi, and people like this are promoting natural fiber. Well, now that you called me a fashion icon, let me admit this. In the month of October, we are having a fashion show in New York City. Woo! This fashion show, I'm not going to walk the ramp, okay? This is not about showing the apparel, but this is about exposing the top designers in America to Indian textile, the fabric. So 30 varieties of fabric we are have already transported to United States, it's waiting there. We're going to display this and give this material to them, of some part of it free of cost so that they can try what they want and to promote this. This could be a game changer for India's economy. It need not necessarily be handloom, even if it is machine woven, but natural fiber. If natural fiber comes back, there is no other nation on the planet which has the skills that we have. Over 120, over 120 distinct varieties of weaves we have in this country. Nearly 50 of them will die any time in the next 10 to 15 years because only one old person, one little couple are doing something, their children have become software engineers. And it will die in the next 10-15 years unless we revive, because we must understand this. I don't know if you've ever been to a handloom weaving thing, have you been there? Yeah. In Bangalore, there's a lot of silk saree weaving, you must go and see. At one time, my father believed that I will go into this because the larger family was involved in silk weaving. So I went there to see, I was just 17, I wanted to see how they do it. I was, cocky and like that. He's working on the loom, they're weaving a silk saree, he's just doing I think, at that time I think I'm smart, then I realized that's different. And I'm paying full attention and looking. Simply he's doing this, simply one flower opens up in the cloth, another flower opens up here, geometrically perfect. If you have to put this into your software, it will take so much effort. This guy's got it in his head simply. So, we have destroyed this mainly because of compulsory education. Okay? If a son or a daughter with their father or mother goes to the loom or to the agricultural field to work with their parents, the parents could be arrested because child labor. So we are determined to destroy all the skills in the country and have millions of graduates who have the attitude of the educated and who don't know how to do a damn thing in their life. So, we push the education system towards only 50% of the time that you spend in the school should be academics. Rest of the time in villages, agriculture, craft, music, dance, folk arts, many things. For the first time, the central government announced about a month ago, 50% of the time is academics, but to implement that it'll take… the speed at which we move, it may take 10-15 years, because infrastructure, training, you need teachers and everything. So coming to fashion, I think all of you must be style icons in some way. That means you're not just imitating some rubbish that some model or somebody does, something that fits you. Because each body is made differently, there is a certain way to arrange aesthetics for your own self. For your body, and style is also for your mind and emotion, isn't it? Not just about your body. So it must arrange itself like that, and please, maybe right now it's not possible for everybody, at least one day in a week, please wear natural fiber. Many farmers will not die if you do just this one thing. At least one day in a week, wear natural fiber, you may save many farmers' lives because this will be a steady market. If you grow more vegetables, it goes on the street. If you grow less, it's always a struggle. But if part of it goes into producing natural fiber as it used to be in this country, we were the largest cotton and jute manufacturers in the world, but all wiped out. Time to get it back.
So the next question is from Uma. The question goes, life in cities have become a nightmare for girls. Groping, leering, lewd comments in public transport are a norm that girls have to put up with and unfortunately don't raise their voice against. What to do about such upsetting civilizational evils?
It's an unfortunate reality. At that moment, I know what is the reaction and what is it that we feel like doing. That's a different matter. But we must look at the larger picture. Why? Why is such a thing happening? See, this is because we are a society in transition. We have sort of given up our traditional ways of doing things. We have not caught up with another way of doing life totally. We're just hanging in between for too long. In the sense, probably 30 to 40% of the young people that you see in the cities are migrants, they've come from elsewhere. One thing is, when you're in a new place, you can afford to be irresponsible. They won't behave like that in their own village, okay? Because there are consequences. Here they are new. And another thing we have to address, if we have to look at it compassionately, is if he was in his village, his mother, his mausi, his atte, somebody would be talking, see, we're going to get you married to that girl, see that girl, that is going to be your wife. Whether it's going to happen or not, that's not the point. He thinks there is a solution for his hormonal struggles. Yes, it's a reality, come on. Between the ages of 15 and 25, this is at its peak. So, even if there is no physical solution, there must be a solution in thought and emotion that he knows that, this year you're going to get married, no, this year the crop is not good, okay, you'll get married next year, they may postpone it 5 years, but he is living in that comfort that there is a solution for him. You take that guy and transplant him into Bangalore city. He's just a wild creature. He's living somewhere, 10 people in one room. Daytime one set sleeps, nighttime another set sleeps in the same room. That's a living conditions, I'm saying. And there is no family, there is no any kind of balancing factor in him, there's no society for him, it's just dog-eat-dog world for him. And for his hormonal stuff, there is no solution. Nobody is telling him that girl is for you. His mind is going crazy. He watches movies, these days pornographic stuff is all over the place, he's watching it on the phone. So he thinks this is what every girl wants. He is unable to think beyond that, you must understand his problem. See, first of all, what puberty or adolescence means is, when you were, let's say 10, 12 years of age, you looked at somebody, they were just fine. Suddenly you became 14, 15, your intelligence got hijacked by your hormones. You look at somebody, every bump on their body looks like a world by itself. Yes, this is the reality. Now that guy who is transplanted from a village to here, and his idea of a woman was his mother or his mausi or somebody, now he's seeing young girls here, the kind of girls that he only saw in movies maybe. Now one drop of alcohol, the guy will pounce on you. Little more push he needs. All these rapes and things you're seeing is just this. Already he's out of control, he's somehow holding himself, put 1 or 2 drops of alcohol in his mouth, boom, he'll go crazy. So this is an unfortunate situation, it's a cruel situation for him, it's a cruel situation for those who are victimized by him. But we are a society in transition, it's time we address our issues directly. Don't go on thinking it'll get solved if we close our eyes and sit. It doesn't get solved. So, as a society, we must debate. Are you going to go back to 16 years of age, you can get married? Or are you going to go back to a place where you will discuss and see how to conduct this society? After all, there are young people, they have their needs. How are you going to address this? We need to directly, head-on, we must approach it, not slinking around it, not hiding behind religious books and this and that. You need to address it, this is the issue, how to deal with it. If you don't do that, this is what they're doing. See, one thing is, when such things are done to you, how horrible you feel is one thing. But I want you to also think, how degenerate does he feel doing these things? There is a certain degeneration. He can only do it when he believes he cannot be caught, isn't it? Because there is a certain degeneration of mind, essentially because it is just like a hungry child grabbing something and running away to eat. He is in the same mode with his sexuality. So we need to address this. Very important we address it. The sooner we address it, the better it is.
Thank you, Sadhguru. We have questions from the audience now. We will be taking questions from the audience. Logistic members, please help the audience.
You don't look like Mount Carmel.
There is a question on top as well. Yes, please address it to Sadhguru.
Namaste, Sadhguru.
Namaskaram.
I'm Harshita. My question to you is, what do you think about the concept of hell or heaven? Hell or heaven? What do you think about that concept?
I heard it. I was just trying to figure out where you are, what… Is it heaven or… if you jump, it'll be hell for sure.
I won't do that.
So, please sit down.
Thank you, Harshita.
See, those who have made a hell out of themselves are always aspiring to go to heaven. Yes. If I am sitting here and I'm blissed out, totally, look at my… it looks like I'm always stoned. Yes, never touched a substance, but this is the most complex chemical factory in the world. Is that so? Do you agree with me? The question is only, are you a great CEO or a lousy CEO of this chemical factory? If you are a great CEO, you would keep this all the time, blissed out, right chemistry. If you're a lousy CEO, you produce bad chemistry and you think it's because of this one or that one or that one. So, for some reason people are feeling miserable. Their chemical factory is not going the way they want. They can call it sadness, they can call it misery, they can call it depression. I know in Bangalore a whole lot of people are against me, continuously trying to troll me because of depression business. I'm saying again, for those activists, I'm saying again, if you know how to manage your chemistry, your depression will go. Even if you go to the doctor, he's only going to give you chemicals, isn't it? So do you think the pharmaceutical industry that they're using there has better chemical structures than my body? Do you believe that? That means you're a vested interest, you have investments in pharma industry. So, when this is feeling like hell, we hope that somewhere when we go up there, how are you feeling out there? That everything will be fantastic. What's her name? Arpita? Harshita. Harshita. Harshita means, blissed out. So, this happened in Alabama. You know Alabama state? It's a special state, it's a different kind of state, hardcore religious state. So in a Sunday school teacher was going all out, full rhetoric, full force. And unfortunately, the audience were not like you, they were all tiny tots. It's a catch them young policy. In his full rhetoric he was going and children were sitting like this. Suddenly he stopped for dramatic impact. He stopped and he said, "What do you have to do to go to heaven?" Little Mary in the front bench stood up and said, "If I mop the church floor every Sunday morning, I will go to heaven." Absolutely. Another little girl out there said, If I share my pocket money with my less privileged friend, I will go to heaven. Correct. Another boy said, if I help people who are in need, I will go to heaven. Correct. Little Tommy in the back bench stood up and said, "You gotta die first." Well, that's a qualification. If you want to go to heaven, you got to die first. So when you die, depending on your culture, we will either bury you or burn you or cut you and throw you to the birds. Yes, one of these things we will do, depending on your culture. So one thing is very clear, you will put your body back into the earth and it's a very eco-friendly thing to do. If you've not done anything in your life eco-friendly, that is one act which will be good. You should not take your body and go. You must put it back into the earth because this belongs to the earth. So you left your body and went to heaven. You know what is in heaven, Harshita? No? You know? Okay, okay. So, what is in heaven? In Hindu heaven, food is very good. If you are a foodie, you must go to Hindu heaven. Nala himself will cook personally for you. He's the greatest chef. If you go to another kind of heaven, white-gowned ladies will float around in the clouds. If you like that kind of ambience, you go there. If you go to another heaven, you will have virgin problems. If that's what you're looking for, you go there. But you went there without the body. What do you do with good food and virgins, I'm asking? Hello? You don't have a body, these are all bodily problems, isn't it? No body, what do you do with food and virgins? In the Hindu way of life, there is a thing, up there in heaven, there is an Akshaya Patra. How much ever you eat, food will always be full. Well, when you go without a body, food will always remain full in the vessel. And they will always remain virgins. So, we have been doing this for a long time. This was one simple way. You must understand the managerial skills of the traditional people. This was a way of managing humanity. You're miserable. You… don't worry, when you go there, everything will be okay. Solace. So if it is a psychologist saying these things, it's okay. But you really made them believe everything is going to be better somewhere, you can mess up your life here, that's not good. Somebody is in deep state of suffering, don't worry, when you go and sit in God's lap, everything will be okay. It's a psychological tool. It's fine when people are in extreme states, but don't brand it and sell it everywhere because it's not going to work like that. So, now heavens are collapsing in people's minds. Why there is such an increase of consumption of alcohol and drugs on the planet is mainly because still people are not articulating it, but in their minds, heavens are collapsing. How many of you are thinking, one day when I go to heaven, everything will be fantastic? Not many of you, I'm sure. But in the previous generation, if you had looked, the numbers were quite significant. So heavens are obviously collapsing in human mind because if you ask three questions, all the three heavens will collapse. Yes. So now once human intellect became active, inevitably it'll ask questions. If you ask questions, these things will collapse. So people are trying to have alternatives right here, that they're getting drunk and drugged right here. So this is the moment, all of you young people must understand this. At this point of time, if we don't raise human consciousness in a big way, if you don't teach people how to sit here absolutely blissed out by your own nature, believe me, in another 50 to 70 years' time, at least 90% of the human population will be on some kind of chemical. To be healthy, they need chemicals, to be peaceful, they need chemicals, to be joyful, they need chemicals, for everything they need chemicals. I want you to know this, 70% of US population is on prescription medication. The most affluent nation on the planet. Why does individuals and societies seek affluence? Because the first step of affluence is choice of food, choice of nourishment. The second step of affluence is choice of lifestyles. The most incredible variety of food is in front of you and enormous lifestyle choices are there, and in this society, 70% of the people are on pharmaceutical, prescription medication. This clearly shows if you do economic development without also cultivating human consciousness, our wealth will become our biggest problem. So we are still on the threshold of economic development. This is the time where we have to invest in evolving human consciousness. For all this previous question, the problems that you asked and everything, fundamentally evolution of human societies need to happen. But there is no such thing as a society, there's just you and me. It's only individual people. If you and me evolve, society has evolved, world has evolved, isn't it? Society is only abstract, it is actually all of us individuals, isn't it? So if individual evolution in terms of becoming conscious doesn't happen, you will see 90% of the population will fall into chemicals. When they fall into chemicals, I'm not talking about this as a moral thing. If 90% of the human population goes on constant usage of chemicals, the next generation that we produce will be a generation which will be much less than who we are. And that's a crime against humanity. Every generation, the next generation that comes, must be at least one notch better than who we are. If we produce a generation less than us, then we have committed a crime against humanity, we have taken humanity backwards. And that is what will happen if chemical usage multiplies and it is going wild. This is the time to raise consciousness, that's why we are here with you. To blow your mind without cocaine.
I think Anjali has a follow-up question to that, so post her question, we will continue taking questions from the audience.
So just going back a little, so psychology and psychiatry has been infamously held by the neck because of pills. This is something that, has been like a raising concern in everybody's mind, because at least that stigma of going to counselors have fortunately come down a little, but the fact that people go to psychiatrists and the fact that they are prescribed pills is somehow still there. And the fact of the matter is that when a patient is put on pills, it's not the be-all and end-all of it. They do not stick to their pills for the rest of their lives. They are put on the pills so that the psychotherapy or like the therapy works on them, and little by little they are actually put off the pills. And until and unless that entire procedure of putting you off the pills and making you independently live without the pills happen, the procedure is incomplete. Unfortunately, a lot of these procedures are, left halfway because, people do not complete the term of, their therapy. But the entire science…
You're telling me… I'm not rubbishing the science. I did not rubbish the science.
Yeah, I'm 83 now. I don't feel like I'm an old man. I've got tons of energy, work hard, go to the gym, travel hard.
It's all right to die, but you don't have to get old.
But are you scared of dying?
Huh?
Are you scared of dying?
Not at all. Why?
Not at all. Huh?
I've lived a full life. I live every day like this the last day, so I have no issue.
Are you a good sleeper?
Oh yes. For 25 years, I managed with just about 2.5 to 3 hours of sleep.
Really? A night?
Yes.
A night?
These days, on an average, I'm getting lazy, sleeping 4.5 hours.
Wow. When my wife and I sleep 9 hours.
We sleep 9 hours.
That means half the life you'll sleep off.
If I had 2.5 hours sleep, I'd be sitting here like this now.
No, body does not need sleep, it needs restfulness. If you know how to keep yourself restful, the sleep quota will just go down.
That's a good point, actually, isn't it?
You perform action, we wanted to be successful, there's no question. But today, you watch all the successful people, they are spreading a message, success is misery, success is suffering. Once you spread this message, next generation will not seek success. This may not be articulated in their mind, but they will not seek success because they're looking at the successful you and they don't want to be like you.
they think they're better off smoking pot. And they are.
That's true.
So, for you to be successful, the most important thing is your pleasantness in the body, pleasantness in the mind, pleasantness in the emotion, and pleasantness in your life energies.
You complicate our lives to ridiculous extent because it's just the way of the world.
There's no such thing as too much. Human being is geared to do a lot. The problem is, most human beings, their own mind is against them. When your intelligence turns against you, then you're finished. So you may call it stress, you may call it anxiety, you may call it misery, madness, whatever you like. Essentially, it's your intelligence turning against you, isn't it?
I love that.
Is there any other reason? Consciousness is not some strange thing happening somewhere. You're alive and you know that you're alive because you're conscious. If you're unconscious, you don't even know whether you're alive or dead, isn't it? You don't even know whether you exist or not. So, you are conscious, the question is only how conscious. So right now, let us see consciousness as light. Let's say there's just one light here in this hall, we dim it. Now it shows only these two people. Other people are now missing in my vision. What do I think? I think only these two people exist in this hall. You brightened it up, I suddenly see 4 people. Oh, suddenly 4 people are in this hall. Now somebody turned it on, oh, 10 people are there. They put it on full brightness, now I see everything and everybody in all detail. This is all consciousness is. Everybody is conscious. The question is only how conscious. Everybody is awake, but question is only how awake are you right now. So that is why the word, in India, we always use the word awakening. Amn't I awake? I am awake, but you can get more awake than what you are right now. You can get further more and more awake. To a point, if you become fully awake, the entire creation is in your perception. The worst crime that we have done against humanity is that we planted this idea of heaven in people's head. We told them there is a better place to live than this. Here you can live wantonly, do stupid things to each other, somewhere else everything is going to be fantastic. This one idea have made us so gross and insensitive to everything around us. This idea, if you're not eating well here, no problem, there it'll be fantastic. You didn't get your drink today, doesn't matter, there rivers flow with wine. Whatever little pleasures you want, don't worry, there virgins are waiting in dozens for you, whatever nonsense. I'm saying just this idea that this is the damn place where you have to do your best to live at the highest level possible. There is no higher place to live. This has to sink into all of us. If we want to live in a great way, this is the place, isn't it? I'm asking you, do you have any proof that you're not already in heaven and messing it up? The simple thing is just this, hot water, a little bit of honey, little bit of turmeric. The Harvard University, they're conducting a research on how the yoga practitioners, are they surviving better? It'll boost the immune system, but at the same time, it's like a gauge. So those of you who are looking for a magic wand way out of the virus situation, there is no magic wand. Very conscientious, responsible steps are needed. Once we relax the lockdown, anybody's guess. Till now, most of us been protected by isolating ourselves. Now when we have to step out, this is when the real challenge happens. This is when really how responsible and sensible we are matters. After the lockdown is over, when the economic process begins, the best thing you can do is how to enhance the immunity in your system. We can give you a protocol how to maintain this. One thing is strict maintenance of social distancing. This must become your religion. Okay? That is if you're religious, I'm saying. Otherwise, this must become your sadhana. So before you go for your morning sadhana, you must take 8 to 12 leaves and put it in your mouth, chew it and keep it in your mouth. It's very important it's in your mouth. It's most effective when it's in your mouth region. So you must keep it in your mouth, chew it for 1 to 2 hours, let it be there, don't wash it up, don't drink it down, let it just be there in the mouth, do your sadhana with that. Turmeric balls every day mixing up, you consume this in the morning and leave it in the stomach before you eat anything, at least for 1 hour. Another thing is, this is the amla season, that is the nallikai for Kannada people, the better nallikai. So right now the season is on, not those huge, golf ball kind of amla. That is all hybrid amla, that is also okay if you don't find anything else. But otherwise, what grows in the hills is only this size. You just smash one amla and put a little salt on it and just chew it. You must keep it in your mouth and it's most effective once again in your mouth. It must be just in your mouth for 1 or 2 hours. These simple things will greatly enhance your immune system. See, there are many traditional things which we can do to boost our immunity. The last 39 years that I'm in this public life, almost every day I have some public event, some event which I am committed to large groups of people. But in these 39 years, in all this travel, I have not cancelled a single event because I am not well. The simple thing that we do when we see that we are exposed to infections, when we're traveling, if we see there are viral infections or influenza going on, all these years of my visits to United States, I don't catch influenza when it's running rampantly all over. The simple thing is just this: hot water, a little bit of honey, little bit of turmeric, and if it is possible, some pudina or coriander in it a little bit. Right now, this is what we are doing to all the police personnel and the medical personnel in our region. We are providing them what is called as Nilavembu Kashayam, which works very well. We did this across Tamil Nadu when the dengue fever was on, it made a big difference. Instead of drinking just plain water, if they just drink this as a part of their thing, I think it will definitely help. It has helped me. I'm just telling you grandmother stuff, not medical stuff, okay? But it's worked. It worked for my grandmother, it worked for me. The only way is to enhance our immune system, the only way is to behave socially in a responsible manner. This is the way forward, and it's a new world, at least for the next 1 or 2 years. It is going to be a different world than what we have lived in. Right now, many things are being done. One aspect is the Harvard University, in collaboration with the Beth Israel Hospital, medical center in United States, together they're conducting a research on how the yoga practitioners, people who have been doing some yogic practices, how do they respond to a virus like this? What is their resilience? Are they surviving better? I'm 100% sure they're surviving better, but we need, medical evidence for this, but I'm 100% sure because I have not heard of a single case of any of our meditators dying. Some of them have lost their parents, aged relatives, but not meditators, related. So, yoga doesn't come through blood. You gotta do it. That's the only problem with the damn thing. It works miraculously, but you have to do it. Yoga, yoga, yogeshwaraya Bhuta bhuta bhuteshwaraya Kala kala kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. So, what we're doing, this simple mantra, you must understand, what we are calling as a mantra is just a certain geometry of sounds. If properly uttered, this mantra is particularly designed to generate what is called as samat prana. There are 5 dimensions of pranavayu in the system. Samat prana is that which is in charge of respiratory process and the thought process, and it generates heat. Well, the pranavayu is fundamentally in charge of respiration and thought process, but without the fire of samat prana, pranavayu cannot function. So this is why any kind of kriya or pranayam that you do, first thing is to generate some heat, because without generating the ushna, the other dimensions cannot really fly. So, one thing is to generate heat, because this will also greatly enhance one's immune system. Let us not think that, now I am doing my kriya so I can go out irresponsibly. No, I never said your kriya or your mantra is a solution for corona. It is not. It strengthens your system. Well, building up immunity is not going to happen overnight. This we must… I would say, in 4 to 8 weeks, one can see significant betterment of one's immune system. So, this package of the mantra and the Isha Kriya, which will bring balance to your system, let us make use of it for our well-being. In the yogic sciences, there are various things one can do to enhance one's immune system. In terms of practices, we have put out a simple, powerful process called Simha Kriya. This is a kind of process. One thing is it'll boost the immune system. Another thing is it involves your breath in a certain way. Suppose you start doing it today, after a week's time, if you find some difficulty in doing it, you clearly know you have some respiratory stuff, even before other symptoms show up. Even before other symptoms with which you normally medically recognize, even before that, you will see you will not be able to do the practice the moment there is some kind of a respiratory cause. This viral being, being a very respiratory related thing, it'll be very useful if you're doing the practice every day, twice a day, it'll boost the immune system, but at the same time, it's like a gauge. If you suddenly can't do it one day, you know there is something wrong with your function of your respiratory system. Most people develop relationship with the soil only after they die. But it's very important to develop relationship with the soil when you're alive. I would say especially now, with this virus around, believe me, those of you who are in some way in contact with the soil, here we call this Prithvi Prema Seva, that means getting involved with the soil in a very loving manner. Well, your ability to live, your ability to resist these kind of invasions upon your life will be greatly enhanced. It's not just enough if you live, it's important that you live strong. Living strong does not mean you grow big muscles and dominate somebody. Living strong means here life happens big. For this, you need a body which treats the entire planet as its extension, which it is. So, it's very important that you bring this, all of you who are here at the Isha Yoga Center, we will set up some processes for you so that every one of you, at least once in 3 days, your hands and feet are in the soil. Very important. And wherever else you are, if you have a small patch of a garden, or you can volunteer that you will work in somebody else's garden. Believe me, yes, they will get free labor, but don't think they are getting more, you're getting much more because you being connected with the soil will make a phenomenal difference for the way your physical body functions. Put your hands into the soil, very important. Otherwise, those of you who are too well-to-do but don't want to be seen doing any work because it may create a wrong image for your affluence, you can have a mud butt. Yes, that is also one way. This will do wonders for you. So if you maintain these protocols, very easily you can enhance your immune system because ultimately that's the only way you have.
What is the best possible way to raise a child in the times that we are living in, surrounded by technology? Do you think travel is one of the best ways to educate your child?
You can raise only cattle. A human being cannot be raised. This is a real crime against humanity, that you've already fixed what your child should become.
I'm a parent, I'm a mother. I want to know what is the best possible way to raise a child in the times that we are living in, surrounded by technology, me being a working mom, not spending as much time as my mother did with me. What do you suggest to working professionals out there?
So why do you think your mother did a good job on you?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Why do you think your child doesn't deserve that? You must look at that. I'm not saying you should not work, you should work. But once you have a child, it's a 20-year project. That is if they do well. Otherwise, it's a lifelong project.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So, we must understand it's not about the volume of time that you spend. If you spend too much time, they'll get sick of you. It is the way you relate to them. Being I'm a mother, when you say this and you want to raise your child, you can raise only cattle. A human being cannot be raised. If you raise a human being, he will be just like a cattle, he or she will be just like a flock. You should not raise, you must cultivate and watch what is going to blossom. But raising means you already fixed what they should become. Don't ever fix that. This is a crime against humanity, I'm saying. I'm using a very strong word. This is a real crime against humanity, that you've already fixed what your child should become, not only in terms of profession, this, that, in every way. No, the beauty of having a child is to cultivate and see what the hell are they going to become. Watch it. Maybe it's a thorny plant, maybe it's a rose plant. It looks like a thorny plant, maybe it'll blossom roses later, maybe it's a mango tree, maybe it's a coconut tree, you don't know.
Yeah.
You just have to nourish, support and watch. You don't raise. Raise means you've already fixed the end. You don't do that.
In terms of morals, ethics, or is it just about…
See, do you want your child or yourself to be guided by your morality or guided by your humanity? Which is better? What is lacking in this world is humanity. In the name of morality, people are becoming inhuman to each other, isn't it? What's the point of that? Humanity is a better guide than morality, any day. Morality is a backdoor entry to pretend like a human being. But I thought you are a human being, why should you pretend?
Yeah. Do you think travel is one of the best ways to educate your child?
See, simply random traveling may not be very educative. or it can educate you about things that you don't want your child to be educated about. Lot of exposure will happen, which you can't control when you're traveling. Not always it is good. So these things have been said by the English people and we're going on repeating the same thing because English people were trapped in a small island. If they didn't travel, they didn't see anything other than the grey mornings, mostly, all right? Even to sunlight, they had to come to India. Oh.
Yeah.
So, this travel is the best education. This was said by some English people because they're trapped in a small little island. When you're in an island, you must travel. But if you're elsewhere, you must travel to an island for fun.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I wouldn't make that like a prescription. It depends on the kind of person you are. Some people grow with travel, some people get crushed with travel. I think it should be looked at that way. It's not like a common prescription. But a lot of people would benefit by travel, at least they would loosen up from their day-to-day structures they have set up in their minds about with whom they can talk, whom they cannot talk, in new places, new people. It could loosen them up a little bit. Definitely.
What is the mission that you're on?
No mission. My experience, I'm trying to just rub it off.
There's only one goal for life, for all life. This life wants to become full. This is the only goal every life has.
2023, let's light it up, huh? Consecration is an effort to encapsulate that energy, generally is referred to as the divine. It draws people's attention and creates a possibility for enhancement and empowerment of life.
We have strengthened the third eye in a big way. She is more driving towards mukti.
I feel blessed to be here on the holy occasion of Mahashivratri in the presence of Adi Yogi.
This is not of belief, going to heaven, this is not about seeking solace. This is a day for everyone to commit themselves to become genuine seekers.
Play is not just in the field of playing a game, bringing that playfulness into every aspect of your life. Let's make it happen, create a playful Bharat. What do you say?
I'm glad to know that the event has become an effective tool for social transformation.
Renowned yogi Sadhguru, the founder of the Save Soul movement, spoke at COP28.
This is the fundamentals of democracy. If 60% of any electorate clearly states, we are concerned about the soil, what about our children, what are you doing for them? If you don't do this, we will not elect you. This will become the electoral issue. Once it's the electoral issue, it's action.
Thank you for your leadership. He has the magic.
The celebration happened, attention is moved towards soil, that's a big celebration for us.
पहला मैसेज सद्गुरु जी का है।
इस मन की बात में मन के स्वास्थ्य पर बात करना हमारा सौभाग्य है।
A chemistry of peacefulness, joyfulness, blissfulness is something that has to be brought into every individual's life and the entire humanity. Let's make it happen.
सामान्य तौर पर सद्गुरु जी ऐसे ही बेहतरीन तरीके से अपनी बातों को सामने रखने के लिए जाने।
And we're doing a large meditation session, is that right?
Not very large, about 12,000 people.
Not large.
What is moving here is not the clock. This is life ticking away.
This moment when I'm with you, I'm 100%. You are the most important person in my life right now, and that's how I live. I'm only an outpouring of who I am, no matter where I am.
Shambhavi means it's a twilight zone, to be rooted in the body, but to touch a dimension which is beyond physical nature.
The meditation was phenomenal.
To be with Sadhguru is always a great inner event.
My intention is not to initiate the whole world. I'm hoping each one of you will at least transform another 10 lives around you
not by teaching, just by your way of being.
A guru is not a teacher. A guru is not a guide or a philosopher, nor a friend. He is there just to light it up.
So today, 40 years after that day, here we are relaunching Inner Engineering Online once again in a new format, in 7 steps. Transform your life with Sadhguru. Let's make it up.
The most significant aspect of being in Sanyama is that you move from seeing and experiencing meditation as a practice to meditation as a quality of your life.
The thirst for knowing what is the truth about my life has gone up many fold, particularly in the youth across the world. Never before a spiritual effort has been made on this scale.
Being in a guru's lap means this is about cooking yourself up to become vibrant. If your thing is wanting to dissolve, you don't have to say a damn thing, just sit. Today, being Buddha Purnami, it's a reminder, if you don't rise above your intellect, mental ailment is a natural outcome. Before Sadhguru launches his Conscious Planet movement in 2024, I will be at least little bit above my buddhi.
The most important thing that we need to build on this planet is great human beings. Being a yogi means you have become like a temple. A temple is not doing anything, but it exudes a certain energy. This must happen. Only then you know what it means to be a being. Essentially, you're not suffering life, you're suffering 2 most important faculties, a very vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination.
Every day, millions of people, if they close their eyes, tears of ecstasy are washing their cheeks. This is the only achievement I have, rest is all circus.
We are about to celebrate 5,000 years of yoga's history. Sadhguruji is here because he can share with us his wisdom.
Sadhguru, we welcome you to UNESCO.
The importance of yoga is to explore the limits of your individual nature.
Policymakers understand it's a concern, they'll make the right policies. Say something about soil every day to someone, or at least on your phone, or sign off as Save Soil.
Viral videos essentially of our ISRO scientists before Chandrayaan-3's launch, visiting temple.
Why can't they?
This is science, why are you mixing faith in it?
Temple is a tool for opening up certain possibilities. We are not asking God to make our Chandrayaan successful. The scientist is looking how to upgrade himself to do this enormous task.
In another 35 to 40 years' time, when over 70% of the population has no religion, either everybody will be a drug addict or an alcoholic, or they will be a meditator. It's our responsibility to see they turn inward, not get destroyed with chemicals.
Heart of hearts, I don't have all those things. I broke my heart into 1,000,000 pieces and threw it away in the world. I live not because of my values. I live not because of my morality. I live not because of some commandments from somewhere. I live out of my humanity.
Entrepreneurship means you want to wear the hell out of your life. You're not looking at how to do less, you're looking at how to do more. Entrepreneurship should not be just seen as another way to making a living, it's a way to make life. This is a choice that you have. Either you just make a living or you make a life out of this.
It doesn't matter how big the business becomes. How full is your experience, that's all that matters.
The important thing is to create spaces and times where you can simply be still and in silence. It is in the escape of silence that all sounds can happen.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Absolutely fantastic to see a river of devotion flowing here. At 85, he still practiced just to hit a ball, look at the devotion. What did I do to earn this? Come here, come here, come here.
वो है जिसने जिंदगी के रास्ते पर रोशनी छिड़की।
वाह वाह वाह।
Sounds of Sanity, Discovering Inner Peace, a conversation between Black and Sadhguru.
Love is not what you do, it is something that you can become. It was wonderful to meet Rafa.
You are on 4 wheels, a young man, I'm on 2 wheels for my age.
I gotta say, it's pretty impressive.
Keeping yourself in the best possible way is the most fundamental responsibility that you have, because whether you do the best or not, may depend whether somebody will live or not.
What is Shiva? Or who is Shiva?
It's not a question I can answer, but I can transmit. Bharat does not need fighting spirit. It should be the spirit of life.
Welcome to all of you for this Naga Panchami. How profoundly you perceive will decide how successful you are.
Save soil, save soil, save soil.
This life wants to become full. This is the only goal every life has.
How do you keep yourself calm when you want to?
There's only one rule, never collide with anything. This goes for your life also.
Today I've made some nice ragi dosa, you must eat and see.
How do you hold on to that joy?
There's nothing to hold on to. If you don't hold on to anything, you'll be joyful.
He's very grateful to you for this opportunity.
I'm being brailled.
So right now we are building what is called as farmer-producer organization. Right now we have 24 of them. They have done fabulously well. And their lives and their family life, everything has changed significantly simply because it became a collective effort. This is the first poem I wrote in Isha Yoga Center. Successful leader means just that. What they see tomorrow, you see today. That's all.
It is always a great pleasure to listen to Sadhguru.
Here I am at India-Pakistan border. Our brave men and women are doing their best. It's a great honor to be here in Benares. What you do here in the next 2 to 3 years' time could be a module for the entire world of reviving soil.
Seeing you.
Just don't see me, man. Stand with me and do something, no?
Flying this vintage machines.
The important thing about my life is not about predicting your future, about empowering you to create your future. Next year, 2024, we are launching a global movement called Conscious Planet. Be a part of it.
If something in you became quieter, clearer, or maybe even more restless after this video, then it was already worth it. Let us know what you felt, tell us your city, and if you can, subscribe and send it to someone who would appreciate this too. These little actions help the message go further. Thank you, Big Hug, and see you in the next video.